Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Nishit Kumar and with me is Manoj Singrana with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi urges people to mark Yoga Day and make yoga a part of their daily lives. NDA government has enabled youth to achieve their dreams and fulfill their potential during the last 8 years, says the Prime Minister. India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage crosses 195 crore mark. Health Minister Monsoon says nation is rapidly marching towards hitting the double century. BJP authorizes its President JP Nadda and senior leader Rajnath Singh to hold consultations with different political parties for the upcoming presidential election. Union Minister Jitendra Singh to release second edition of National E-Governance Service Delivery Assessment 2021. 12th World Trade Organization Ministerial Conference begins in Geneva, Switzerland. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal leads the Indian delegation. In Khelo India Youth Games 2021, Haryana tops the medal tally by securing 116 medals, including 39 gold. In weightlifting, Akanksha Vyavahare wins a silver medal for India at the Youth World Championships in Mexico. And in cricket, India and South Africa second 2020 international match in Cuttack underway. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has urged people to mark Yoga Day and make yoga a part of their daily lives. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said, in the coming days, the world will mark the International Day of Yoga. He said yoga has not one but many benefits. The Prime Minister has said that yoga is an invaluable gift of the ancient Indian tradition. The 8th International Day of Yoga will be celebrated across the world on the 21st of June. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that in the last 8 years, the India government has enabled the youth to achieve their dreams and fulfill their potential. Mr. Modi said India's Yuva Shakti is the greatest strength. He said country's youth is excelling in different sectors and contributing to the national progress. He has shared the details of the government's efforts for youth development in the last 8 years. From entrepreneurship to sports, every field is now becoming accessible to youth from all sections of society. The Prime Minister said the youth power of the country is the strong pillar of New India. He said in the last 8 years, government has left no stone unturned to empower the youth. Mr. Modi said every necessary initiative has been taken for the youth. These include new education policy, expansion of the Indian Institutes of Technology and the Indian Institutes of Management, new startups and unicorns and Khelo India Kendra. India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage has crossed the 195 crore mark today. Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia has said that the country is rapidly marching towards hitting the double century. In a tweet, Dr. Mandavia said, in the nation's collective fight against COVID-19, India now has a strong protective shield of over 195 crore vaccine doses. President Ramnath Kovind will be on a 3-day visit to Karnataka and Goa from tomorrow. He will grace the Platinum Jubilee celebrations of the Rashtriya Military School Bengaluru tomorrow. On Tuesday, the President will grace the Lokarpan ceremony of Sri Rajadhiraja Govinda Temple at Vaikuntha Hill, Vasantapura, Bengaluru. President Kovind will lay the foundation stone for the new Raj Bhavan of Goa on the 15th of this month.
The Bharatiya Janata Party has authorized its President JP Nadda and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh to hold consultations with different political parties for the upcoming presidential election. The term of office of President Ramnath Kovind is ending on the 24th of next month. In a statement, the BJP said both the senior leaders of the party will discuss with the NDA partners, UPA-aligned parties, other political parties and independents on the president's election. Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh will release the second edition of the National E-Governance Service Delivery Assessment, NESDA 2021 tomorrow. The report has been prepared covering the assessment of states, union territories and focus central ministries on their effectiveness in delivering online services to citizens. The Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions informed that the report also provides suggestions for governments to further enhance their e-governance service delivery systems. The ministry added the NESTA 2021 covers services across 7 sectors. These include finance, labour and employment, education, local governance and utility services, social welfare, environment and tourism sectors. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal reached Geneva, Switzerland to attend the 12th World Trade Organization WTO Ministerial Conference. It begins today after a gap of almost 5 years. Mr. Goyal is leading the Indian delegation at the conference. In a tweet, he said it is India's endeavour to work for a positive and equitable outcome to the ministerial conference negotiations. He expressed hope that the forum will address Indian concerns on issues affecting the vulnerable sections of society. The key areas of discussions and negotiations in the year's conference include WTO's response to the pandemic, fishery subsidies negotiations, and agriculture issues including public stockholding for food security. India has a vital stake in protecting the interests of all stakeholders in the country and interests of the developing and poor nations that look up to the leadership of India at multilateral forums, including the WTO. You're listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi urges people to mark Yoga Day and make yoga a part of their daily lives. NDA government has enabled youth to achieve their dreams and fulfill their potential during last 8 years, says Prime Minister. India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage crosses the 195 crore mark. Health Minister Monsoon says nation is rapidly marching towards hitting the double century. BJP authorizes its President JP Nadda and senior leader Rajnath Singh to hold consultations with different political parties for upcoming presidential election. Union Minister Jitendra Singh to release second edition of National E-Governance Service Delivery Assessment 2021. 12th World Trade Organization Ministerial Conference begins in Geneva, Switzerland. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal leads the Indian delegation. In the Khelo India Youth Games 2021, Haryana tops medal tally by securing 116 medals, including 39 gold. In weightlifting, Akanksha Vyavhare wins a silver medal for India at Youth World Championships in Mexico. And in cricket, India and South Africa's second T20 international match in Qatar underway. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
अपने बिजनेस को बढ़ाने के लिए लीजिए आकाशवाणी का सहयोग और दीजिए उसे बुलंदियों के पंख।
आपका बिजनेस लोकल है या राष्ट्रीय, आकाशवाणी देती है उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का हर विकल्प।
और अब तो आप घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे कर सकते हैं आकाशवाणी के किसी भी केंद्र के लिए विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न चैनलों पर विज्ञापन देना सुलभ और सस्ता।
बुकिंग है तो संपर्क करें 8700014242 पर।
8700014242।
क्या आप कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स की तैयारी कर रहे हैं? आपके लिए ऑल इंडिया रेडियो लाया है प्रोग्राम अभ्यास, एक ऐसा कार्यक्रम जहां आप सवाल भेजते हैं व्हाट्सएप नंबर 9289909444 पर या फिर ईमेल करते हैं abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर। आपके सवालों के जवाब हमारे एक्सपर्ट देते हैं हर शनिवार रात 9:30 बजे। इस बार का विषय है इंडियन सोसाइटी, भारतीय समाज, और सवाल भेजने की अंतिम तारीख है 15 जून। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
जन जन ने निर्णय लेकर भारत की सूरत बदली है, कदम कदम पे जनता मोदी जी के साथ चली है। 8 साल में हमने संभव को संभव कर डाला है, जब में उगे सूरज का देखो पश्चिम में भी उजाला है। रात गई अब दिन आएगा भी तो ये बस भोर है। ये भारत का नया दौर है, ये भारत का नया दौर है।
Welcome back. You are tuned to the evening news on All India Radio. Under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership, India emerged as the pharmacy of the world during the COVID pandemic. Supply of medicines and vaccines, particularly to the global south, earned enormous goodwill. In April this year, India and other Quad nations, United States, Australia and Japan, handed over 2 lakh made-in-India vaccine doses to Thailand under the grouping's vaccine partnership. In the recently held Quad Leaders Summit in Tokyo, the Quad leaders praised India's vaccine diplomacy. Our correspondent has filed this report.
India's helping hand during the trying times of COVID has been appreciated by many world leaders. Health Minister Monsoon said that India has supplied COVID vaccines to more than 150 countries at an affordable rate.
हमने हेल्थ को हमेशा सेवा के साथ देखा और इसीलिए ही जब कोविड क्राइसिस चल रहा था मैंने इंटरनेशनल प्लेटफॉर्म पर जाके कहा दुनिया के पास मेडिसिन नहीं थी और ऐसी स्थिति में हमने लॉकडाउन होते हुए भी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करवा के देश की रिक्वायरमेंट को पूरा करके और मैंने इंटरनेशनल प्लेटफॉर्म पर कहा कि उस वक्त हमने प्राइस हाइक नहीं किया और हमने क्वालिटी के साथ भी बार्गेनिंग नहीं किया दुनिया को मदद की थी हमने वैक्सीन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग किया 100 से अधिक कंट्री को हमने वैक्सीन सप्लाई
During the peak of the COVID pandemic, Vande Bharat mission helped bring back around 1,83 lakh stranded Indians in over 2,17,000 flights. Government has also readily sprung into action to rescue its nationals successfully from war-hit nations time and again. Under Operation Ganga, over 22,500 Indians returned safely from Ukraine earlier this year. As part of Operation Rahat, over 4,700 Indians returned home safely from Yemen in 2015. With Shweta Kumari, Suparna Saitya, AIR News, Delhi.
Union Minister of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, Purushottam Khodabai Rupala has said that the centre is committed to working for upliftment of the poorest section of the society. He said that during the past 8 years, the government, under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, has done commendable work for the marginalized sections of the country. He said this after inaugurating the PG Boys Hostel 2 at the College of Veterinary Sciences and Animal Husbandry, ISOL, the campus of the Central Agricultural University, Imphal. Mr. Rupala said that during the peak of COVID pandemic, India not only invented the vaccine, but has been able to send vaccines to many countries along with other assistance. And now let's listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation.
India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
In today's episode, we remember revolutionary freedom fighter Heim Chandra Kanongo Das, who was born on the 12th of June 1871 in Midnapur district, West Bengal. He was the principal co-accused with Sri Aurobindo in the Alipur bomb case in 1908.
He was also one of the creators of the Calcutta flag, based on which the first flag of independent India was raised by Bhikaiji Cama on the 22nd of August 1907 at the International Socialist Conference in Stuttgart, Germany.
A close associate of Barindra Kumar Ghosh and Aurobindo Ghosh, Heim Chandra Kanongo was instrumental in setting up a secret bomb factory. Kanongo went to Paris to learn the art of bomb making from Russian émigrés in Paris. To get money for the trip, he sold his house in Calcutta.
He reached Marseille towards the end of 1906 and spent a few months trying to get in contact with revolutionaries in Switzerland, France and England. Finally, Hemchandra found a backer to support him while he studied chemistry in Paris.
He returned to India in 1908 with a trunk full of up-to-date technical literature, the most important item of which was a 70-page manual on bomb making, translated from Russian. He started teaching the art of bomb making to other freedom fighters.
He opened a secret bomb factory at Maniktala near Kolkata, founder members of which were Hemchandra Kanongo Aurobindo Ghosh and his brother Barendra Kumar Ghosh.
A suicide squad of 2 members was sent to kill the British officer Kingsford at Muzaffarpur. However, after bombing a wrong target, freedom fighter Prafulla Chaki committed suicide before the British Indian police could detain him alive. But freedom fighter Khudiram Bose was arrested.
As a result of this incident, the covert bomb factory established by Heim Chandra Kanongo was raided by the British police and shut down. Almost all the members were arrested in a short period of time. For his involvement in the Alipur bomb case, Heim Chandra was sentenced to transportation for life in the Andamans, but was released in 1921.
In 1926, his book account of the revolutionary movement in Bengal was published. In this book, Heim Chandra presented an analysis of the history of the armed political revolution in Bengal. The great revolutionary died on the 8th of April, 1951. AIR News salutes the great revolutionary freedom fighter.
We also remember revolutionary freedom fighter Apurva Sen, who was martyred on the 12th of June 1932. A clerk at the General Post Office of Chittagong, Apurva Sen was known as Bhola in revolutionary circles. After the Chittagong Armory raid, the police were in search for the absconders.
On the information provided by an informant, Captain Cameroon raided the house of Savitri Chakraborty of Patia, where Apurva Sen was killed in the crossfire on the 12th of June 1932. AIR News salutes the great son of the soil.
On the 12th of June 1857, 3 independence activists, Salamat Ali, Amanat Ali and Sheikh Haro, launched an attack with their swords on Commandant Major MacDonald's bungalow, where he was having tea with Sir Norman Leslie and Assistant Surgeon Dr. Grant.
Leslie was killed at once and the other 2 officers were wounded. The 3 activists were hanged on the 12th of June 1857. We salute the great martyrs.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
In Jammu and Kashmir, the Administrative Council has approved the proposal of the Home Department to create new posts under different categories for establishment of the State Investigation Agency. The Administrative Council met in Srinagar today under the chairmanship of Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha. In terms of territorial division of jurisdiction of the State Investigation Agency, there will be 2 divisions, 1 each for Jammu and Kashmir. The Administrative Council approved the creation of 252 posts in different categories, including Deputy Inspector General of Police, Senior Superintendents of Police, Superintendents of Police, among others. The State Investigation Agency will be the nodal agency for coordinating with the National Investigation Agency and other central agencies. Meanwhile, giving a big relief to the houseboat owners and shikarawalas of Jammu and Kashmir, the Administrative Council has also approved the proposal of the Tourism Department to provide subsidized timber for repair and maintenance of houseboats and taxi shikaras. Under this initiative, the eligible houseboat owners and shikarawalas will be identified by the Director Tourism, Kashmir. They will be provided subsidized timber through e-auction and the J&K Forest Development Corporation Limited. In Jammu and Kashmir, 1 Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorist was gunned down by the police in an encounter which broke out this evening at Kreespal Palpora in Sangam area of Srinagar. According to the police, the slain terrorist was involved in the killing of 2 J&K police personnel. A team of the National Monuments Authority will visit Arunachal Pradesh on Tuesday to identify new additions in the list of centrally protected monuments from the state. The Culture Ministry said The team will meet local tribal leaders to find places of indigenous faith which connect Arunachal Pradesh to other parts of country through legends and verbal history. The team will comprise of 2 members, Himraj Kamdar and Professor Kailash Rao, in addition to Chairman Tarun Vijay. A report will be submitted to the Minister of Culture and the Prime Minister, suggesting new additions in the list of the centrally protected monuments and identifying cultural tourism sites that strengthen national unity in the context of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
The National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, NCPCR, is celebrating Elimination of Child Labour Week in honour of the World Day Against Child Labour in 75 places from today. Rescue operations in 75 places where children are involved in labour work in the scrap and automobile markets across the country shall be conducted during this week. This will be done with the help of authorities like State Commission, District Authorities, Child Welfare Committee and other stakeholders. In the United States, tens of thousands of protesters have rallied across the country to call for stricter gun laws in the wake of 2 recent mass shootings. Those taking part at the hundreds of marches carried slogans like, "I want freedom from getting shot." U.S. President Joe Biden backed the protests, calling on the Congress to pass common-sense gun safety legislation. 19 children and 2 adults were killed in the 24th May shooting at Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas. That attack and another days earlier in Buffalo, New York, in which 10 people were killed, has led to renewed calls for action on gun control in the U.S.
Union Information and Broadcasting, Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Anurag Thakur today said that the Clean India is a key to a fit India and powerful India. Addressing the players of the Sports Authority of India and members of Nehru Yuva Kendra in Lucknow, the minister said that at a time when country is celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we should develop a culture of sports and fitness in India.
सरकार के जो इनिशिएटिव है, चाहे वो टॉप स्कीम हो या खेलो इंडिया प्रोग्राम जिसके माध्यम से अच्छे इवेंट्स मिले, सुविधाएं मिली, प्रशिक्षण मिला और साथ ही साथ लाखों रुपए में भी मिलता है, ये अपने आप में दिखाता है कि खेलों में तो युवा आगे आ ही रहे हैं, लेकिन समाज के प्रति अपनी जिम्मेदारियों को निभाते हुए आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव के साथ भी जुड़ रहे हैं और इस अमृत काल में अपनी भूमिका निभाने के लिए तैयार हैं कि कैसे स्वच्छ भारत और स्वस्थ भारत का निर्माण करें और एक सशक्त भारत को खड़ा करें.
Mr. Thakur said that the government is trying to provide all facilities to the players. He flagged off the Fit India, Clean India Run rally at Hazratganj in Lucknow. Emphasizing on the necessity of cleanliness, the minister said that the cleanliness drive launched by the NDA government has changed a lot in the country and changed the mindset of the people. In Khelo India Youth Games 2021, Haryana has topped the medal tally again with an overhaul of 116 medals, including 39 gold, 35 silver and 42 bronze. Maharashtra is on second position with 104 medals, including 39 gold, 35 silver and 30 bronze. Karnataka remained at third place with 21 gold. Manipur continued at the fourth place, while Kerala is at the fifth position.
In weightlifting, Akansha Vyavahare has won a silver medal for India in the Youth World Championships in Mexico today. She won the medal in the women's 40 kg category. She finished first in the snatch portion of the event, lifting 59 kg, and third in the clean and jerk section, lifting 68 kg, earning her the silver medal with a total of 127 kilograms. Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Anurag Thakur has congratulated Akansha on her feat. In a tweet, he said he is proud to see the country's youth bring laurels to the nation. In football, India created history by securing a spot at the highly coveted FIFA E-Nations Cup FENC 2022. Representatives from the country will join esports athletes from 23 other nations to compete at the highest level of FIFA 22 esports from July 26 to 30 in Copenhagen, Denmark. Organized and conducted by EA Sports, the FENC is one of the 3 major esports events that are held on a worldwide scale to crown the global champions of the game.
In cricket, the second T20 international between India and South Africa is underway at the Baravati Stadium in Cuttack. India set a victory target of 149 runs for South Africa. Put into bat, the hosts amassed 148 for the loss of 6 wickets in stipulated 20 overs. For India, Shreyas Iyer made the highest, 40 runs. Earlier, Proteas won the toss and elected to field first. The visitors were 5 for no loss in 1 over when the reports last came in. The two teams will play subsequent matches in Visakhapatnam on the 14th, Rajkot on the 17th, and the last one in Bengaluru on the 19th of this month. The India Meteorological Department has predicted that heatwave condition is likely to continue in isolated place over Punjab, Haryana, Delhi and southeast Uttar Pradesh during next 2 days. Talking exclusively to AIR News, senior scientist at the IMD, R.K. Jenamani, said that there will be no major heatwave from the 16th of this month over Punjab, Haryana and Delhi.
The heatwave condition is still continuing over national capital Delhi and adjoining areas of Punjab and Haryana. Major part of India is now heatwave free. Madhya Pradesh has already reported pre-monsoon thunderstorm and temperature are down now 41-42. Also Vidarbha is not having any heatwave. Now prediction is that because of the easterly wind at the lower level and pre-monsoon thunderstorm starting from 16th, so these Punjab, Haryana, Delhi may have a heatwave for today and tomorrow, and from 16th June the heatwave is going to abate actually. That means there will be no major heatwave spell for this summer 2022 from 16th June onward.
In Rajasthan, pre-monsoon activity has started in the southern and eastern districts of the state. Rain with strong winds continue in Banswara, Udaipur, Jalore, Sirohi and other districts. In the last 24 hours, Garhi in Banswara recorded 115 mm and Salambur in Udaipur recorded 111 mm of rainfall. There was light drizzle of pre-monsoon in the districts of Kota division. Strong winds lashed Sirohi district and light rain occurred at some places including Abu Road. In Jalore, the weather was pleasant due to light rain with thunderstorms and there was relief from the heat. The capital Jaipur received light drizzle in the evening.
And now let us have a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi are expected to have partly cloudy sky with possibility of development of thunder, lightning and heat wave at isolated places. Temperature will hover between 29 and 45 degrees Celsius. Mumbai and Chennai are predicted to have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Kolkata is likely to have partly cloudy sky with possibility of development of thunder, lightning. Srinagar will have mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards evening or night. Jammu will have mainly clear sky, while Leh and Gilgit may have partly cloudy sky. Muzaffarabad will have mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards evening or night. Visakhapatnam will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Hyderabad, Bengaluru and Thiruvananthapuram will have generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. Guwahati and Imphal will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Shillong, Itanagar, Aizawl and Kohima will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Gangtok and Agartala will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. And now before we close, a look at the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi urges people to mark Yoga Day and make yoga a part of their daily lives. NDA government has enabled youth to achieve their dreams and fulfill their potential during the last 8 years, says the Prime Minister. India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage crosses 195 crore mark. Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia says nation is rapidly marching towards hitting the double century. BJP authorizes its President JP Nadda and senior leader Rajnath Singh to hold consultations with different political parties for the upcoming presidential election. Union Minister Jitendra Singh to release second edition of National E-Governance Service Delivery Assessment 2021. 12th World Trade Organization Ministerial Conference begins in Geneva, Switzerland. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal leads the Indian delegation. In the Khelo India Youth Games 2021, Haryana tops the medal tally by securing 116 medals, including 39 gold. In weightlifting, Akansha Vyavahare won a gold silver medal for India at the Youth World Championships in Mexico. And in cricket, India sets a victory target of 149 runs for South Africa to win the second 2020 international match in Qatar. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.
संकट में भागीदार भारत सरकार। कोरोना महामारी में 80 करोड़ लोगों को मिला मुफ्त राशन। 31,90,000 रेहड़ी पटरी वालों को मिला बिना गारंटी लोन।
सबका साथ, सबका विकास, सबका विश्वास और सबका प्रयास।
8 साल सेवा, सुशासन, गरीब कल्याण।